Carolyn Jones, the woman who mesmerized Hollywood as the unforgettable Morticia Addams, carried a secret so dark it would only be revealed when doctors opened her up on the operating table. During the height of her fame, no one suspected that behind the dazzling smile and calm grace, she was waging a silent war within her own body. But that secret erupted one fateful day midair, when Carolyn collapsed on a flight, vomiting blood. As she was rushed into emergency surgery, doctors discovered something horrifying, something that explained the pain she had kept hidden for nearly 40 years. Her story began far from Hollywood glamour. Born during the Great Depression, Carolyn's childhood was marked by instability. Her father, crushed by financial hardship, abandoned the family when she was still a child. Her mother, already struggling with severe agoraphobia, was left to raise her alone, and the two were forced to move in with Carolyn's grandparents. The house was small and stifling, and her grandfather's unpredictable temper left her constantly afraid. As if that weren't enough, she suffered from chronic asthma, often bedridden for weeks. Confined to her room, Carolyn found escape in books, music, and glossy Hollywood magazines. The silver screen became her refuge, a world where she wasn't the sickly little girl gasping for air, but a luminous star adored by millions. By 17, she was determined to make that dream real. She enrolled in the Pasadena Playhouse, one of California's most prestigious acting schools. There, Carolyn not only honed her craft but also fell in love for the first time with a man named Don Donaldson. They married quickly, but the romance soon faded. After just a year, their marriage ended in divorce, a painful wound that only strengthened her resolve to succeed. She graduated with honors, ready to conquer Hollywood. But the industry she entered was ruthless. No matter how talented she was, casting directors cared more about looks than skill, determined to fit the mold. Carolyn completely reinvented herself: plastic surgery, new hair, refined posture, polished diction. It worked. A Paramount scout spotted her during a small theater performance, and soon she signed her first studio contract. Her debut in The Turning Point seemed like the start of something extraordinary, but Hollywood's love is fickle. After 2 forgettable roles, her contract ended, leaving her nearly broke and questioning everything. But life has a strange way of circling back. While performing in a local theater, Carolyn met a young, ambitious screenwriter, Aaron Spelling. They shared the same hunger for success and an offbeat sense of humor that instantly connected them. In 1953, Carolyn took charge of her destiny once again and proposed to Aaron herself. They married that same year. While her love life blossomed, her career reignited. Her appearance in House of Wax, one of the first 3D films ever made, captured critics' attention. Hollywood finally began to notice her, and soon she was balancing rising fame with a devoted marriage. But Carolyn wasn't interested in being a traditional housewife. She made it clear, her career came first. Children, she said, would only hold her back. Then came the opportunity of a lifetime, a major role in From Here to Eternity. But the night before her audition, she was struck by pneumonia and hospitalized with a 104-degree fever. The role went to Donna Reed, who later won the Oscar for it. Carolyn never forgot that heartbreak. She couldn't help but wonder how differently her life might have gone had she been healthy that day. Her next breakthrough came with The Bachelor Party. In just 8 minutes of screen time, she stunned audiences with her intensity, earning an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actress. Though she didn't win, Hollywood finally recognized her as more than just a pretty face. Her next big project, King Creole with Elvis Presley, solidified her star status. But even then, success came with setbacks, roles grew repetitive. And the films that showcased her best work often failed at the box office. By the early 1960s, Aaron Spelling's career began to soar while Carolyn's started to fade. Their marriage, once full of passion and shared ambition, cracked under the weight of jealousy and distance. In 1964, after more than a decade together, they divorced. Carolyn's heart was broken, but destiny wasn't finished with her yet. That same year, she was offered a role unlike anything she'd done before: the mysterious, enchanting Morticia Addams. At first, she hesitated. Television wasn't the glamorous world of film she once dreamed of, but something about the character spoke to her. Morticia's dark elegance, her sly humor, it was as if the role had been written just for Carolyn. When The Addams Family premiered in 1964, audiences were shocked by Morticia's chemistry with her husband Gomez and by the show's strange, macabre humor. Yet the more people talked, the more they watched. Carolyn became a household name overnight. But behind the gothic charm, she was in pain. The Morticia gown was so tight she could barely move, and every scene left her exhausted. Still, she poured herself into the role, and for 2 glorious seasons, she reigned as television's dark queen. Then, just as quickly as it began, it ended. The show was cancelled after 2 seasons. Typecast and struggling to find new roles, Carolyn's star began to fade once more. She turned to the stage for solace, performing in New York while quietly nursing the ache of lost fame. During that time, she met and married her vocal coach, Herbert Green, but the relationship quickly soured. Green convinced her to quit acting and retreat to a quiet life in Palm Springs. For 7 long years, Carolyn lived in isolation, far from the world that had once adored her. But the fire inside her never went out. At 46, she made a bold decision. She left her husband, returned to Los Angeles, and started over. Against all odds, the audience still remembered her. She began landing television roles again, slowly rebuilding her life and confidence. It was during one of those stage performances that she met Peter Bailey Britton, a kind, passionate actor who brought warmth back into her life. Their love was tender and genuine, but fate had one last cruel twist to play. On a flight from Dallas to Los Angeles, Carolyn suddenly fell violently ill, vomiting blood. Doctors rushed her into surgery and discovered advanced colon cancer. Even then, she refused to give in. She endured multiple operations and grueling chemotherapy sessions, but kept her illness a secret. Whenever her health allowed, she returned to work, appearing in the soap opera Capital. Acting, she said, was the reason she kept fighting. In 1982, as her health declined, Carolyn married Peter in an intimate ceremony. Though frail, she glowed with the same grace that had once captivated millions. Less than a year later, she slipped into a coma and passed away at the age of 53. Before her death, she arranged to have Morticia's gown and wig donated to the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, a lasting symbol of the character that made her immortal. Today, Carolyn Jones remains a figure of haunting beauty and quiet strength, a woman who lived for her art, defied expectations, and faced even death with elegance and courage. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more untold tales of Hollywood legends, don't forget to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more.